morning, everyone.
Morning.
Bow your heads for a word of prayer, please. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you again for another beautiful day in Union County. We ask that you look over this board and give us the wisdom and guidance to best represent all the people of Union County. We ask you to watch over everyone, our first responders, our sheriff's deputies, and get them home safe tonight. These things we ask in Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Harville.
Here.
Commissioner Pitts.
Here.
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt.
Here.
And Commissioner Gould.
Having a quorum, I'll call the meeting to order. 2 minutes ago.
For the approval of minutes, they're down at the far left.
Okay. What's the date on it? The date, I need to know the date.
Oh, the date on the, May 12th, 2023.
Need to approve, minutes from our regular meeting, May 12th. Everybody had a chance to look at those.
I'll make a motion.
I'll say that.
Commissioner Harville.
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt.
Yes. Public comments, anyone? Committee reports,
We had our COOP meeting yesterday afternoon. We had one applicant and unfortunately they didn't meet the criteria. And so we told them to repackage it and possibly approach the county board with it, so.
they'll have to bring it back to you if they redo it first.
Yeah.
So,
As far as animal control, architects come along on drawings, and we are extremely full of dogs. Just a never ending supply of dogs. Get rid of one, get 5 more in.
People turn them in like they. So forth.
That's all I have.
anybody else? And next item, building permits.
We have one. It is parcel number 0525038356. It's at 5020 State Route 146 East for Christopher and Paula Jones, a new home, no floodplain, no subdivision, recommended for approval.
Saw it last night.
Any questions on the building permit? Get a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the building permits.
I second it.
Commissioner Harville.
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt.
Yes.
Old business, approval of ordinance amending Article 13 of Chapter 36, Union County Code of Ordinance. We'll have to continue to table this, still not, everything's not been done. New business, approve paying the bills. Everybody looked at the bill list. Any questions?
No, I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
I second that.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt.
Yes.
Okay, item B, Union County Farm Bureau, you're up.
Good morning.
Morning.
We wanted to thank you guys very much for passing our ag resolution. That meant a lot, that you guys were willing to support us and support our farmers. So we are presenting you guys with a plaque for being an ally in agriculture, and then you each will also be receiving a pin that you can probably wear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then after the meeting, if you guys wouldn't mind staying for a quick photo, I would appreciate it.
No problem. We appreciate you. Kent and I really enjoyed the meeting and learned a lot. Actually, I did.
And we all enjoy eating.
My board enjoyed it a lot, and they're looking forward to growing the relationship with the county board.
Very, very informative. So, a lot of good information that I don't think the public really knows about Union County. Appreciate it. We'll do the pictures afterwards. Resolution appointing members of the Southern Seven Board of Health, Brandon Bierstadt and Kathy Swafford. These terms begin July 1st, 2023 and expire, Brandon's will expire June 30th, 2024. Kathy Swafford, July 1st, 2023 until June 30th, 2026. I make a motion that we approve the resolution appointing these two members to the Southern Seven Board of Health.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt.
I was abstaining from mine, but vote yes for
Okay.
Kent. However you would like to do that.
Okay. Next item, acceptance of FY 2022 Union County audit. You're up, man.
You need the podium.
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Chad Lucas with Sickage. Thanks for the opportunity to work with the county again this year. I'd like to thank Angie and Carrie for all their help and all the staff's help during the audit process. So the audit report is not quite finalized yet. It's been through all of our quality control reviews. We're just waiting for the final legal opinion. We're required to get the opinion of legal counsel to make sure there's no litigation that should be reported that's not. So we're still waiting on that. Once that's done, then we'll provide the final copy. We have provided the draft reports to Angie and Carrie. Our expectation is that nothing's going to change unless there's something in the letters that nobody's aware of. So there's I provided a summary sheet of the reports that we're going to be issuing. So there's 5 different reports that we'll issue this year. The first being the annual financial report. So this is your annual audit report. It will include an independent auditor's report with an unmodified opinion, which means that based on our audit procedures, we believe that the information in the audit report is fairly presented. There will be another report on internal controls over financial reporting and compliance. It's required because you have more than $500,000 worth of federal and state grant expenditures. That'll be a clean opinion as well. No compliance or compliance issues or anything like that we noted. And then the last item is something that's new this year, the independent accountant's report on management's assertion for compliance. So if you spend more than $750,000 in federal funds, you're required to have a single audit. In your case, because the coronavirus grant that you received was the reason that you were over that $750,000 level, we didn't have to do a full-blown single audit, but it was considered what we call a alternative compliance examination. So we did that. We did that for the grant, the recovery grant, the coronavirus recovery grant. We did the compliance testing, and we didn't find any issues with that. The second report that we'll provide is auditor's communication to the county board and to management. And so this information will include a lot of different things. There'll be a cover letter in there from us there's some required communications indicating that we evaluated the estimates that you were considered during the calculation of some of the information. It'll also include adjusting journal entries. And so this year we had approximately 20, I think it was 20 journal entries. Last year was 18. So very comparable from this year to last year. There was some difference though. I think about 5 of those entries related to capital assets. And those entries were essentially provided by Angie to us. We just made those, and they're part of the packet that you'll get. So that's a little bit different.
So that's part of those 5 of those are part of that 20 then?
Yeah, those 5 are part of the 20, but I'll get to this in a second. But the management letter that we had last year, that's kind of on letter C that we'll get to. We also have some past adjustments, some adjustments that we didn't make. They were considered immaterial, and we're required to disclose those to you in that packet. So those will be in there as well. The management letter, control deficiencies. So there were no control deficiencies noted this year. Last year there were 2. One was about the capital assets, which is corrected, and Angie provided those capital asset additions, deletions, and the information to be included in those 5 journal entries that we prepared. And then the other one was about timeliness of deposits at the county clerk's office. And I believe that the procedures were implemented so that it's now deposited daily. There was a time lag, I think, last year when we did the testing. We identified that as a weakness. Now it's being deposited daily. So those 2 comments that we had last year have been resolved. And then the advisory comments, there's 6 comments, and all of those are repeats from the prior year. Most of them related to policy-related issues, fund balance policy, personnel, procedures manual.
Hotel motel tax.
Yeah, the hotel motel tax. There were 2 that related to the hotel motel tax about some compliance issues. The guidance was that you were to charge late fees, and late fees weren't being charged, as well as
Auditing.
auditing the information that's provided by the hotel and motel entities themselves. So all of those are advisory comments are what we consider to be kind of, there's a threshold of material weakness and significant deficiencies. Then there's control deficiencies, and then there's advisory comments and just advisory in nature. And so we provide those to you. And so my understanding is the policy related stuff is kind of ongoing. Trying to figure that out. Okay. Any questions so far? Yeah, just jump in if you have a question. Throw that in.
Good.
The third report is the financial compliance audit for the circuit clerk's office. There were some changes with that this year. There were some new guidelines that were required. So there's a couple of reports: independent accounts report on compliance and on the internal controls over compliance, independent auditor accounts report on the schedule of accountabilities. The schedule of accountabilities is a new report this year that was required by the Office of Administrative Courts. And that report is prepared by the circuit clerk's office. We have to reconcile that information to the financial information in the system. And so that's a new report. We also have an independent auditor's report on the supplementary information. All the information has to tie to the audit risk report itself. And then a couple of schedules, the schedule of accountabilities, which is new, and the related footnotes, and then the report J, which is the annual report for the circuit clerk, Office of Administrative Courts. So that report's still the same as last year. So really the only new report schedule in here is the schedule of accountabilities and the related compliance examination reports that we provide. The consolidated year-end financial report, the GAD report, that's a requirement of the state. When you spend more than $500,000 of federal and state money combined, you have to provide a report to GAD on the grant information. And then the last one will be the comptroller's annual financial report, which is going to be electronically submitted by us. And that's, again, a requirement of the state for filing with the comptroller's office.
Very good. Really appreciate, as always, working with you guys. We've been very happy with your gentlemen responsible responsibilities on through. I would like to add that this is the first year ever. And I want to say a big thank you to Angie, Angela, and Carrie, that we had no findings. That's a first for this county. And that just proves to me, and I think the rest of the board, what a great job you guys do. We were berated quite a bit a few years ago when we hired you two. And we knew the result would be this eventually. And again, I can't say thanks enough for what you guys do.
Thank you.
Can I just say something really quick from the back room, Carrie? I just want to say thank you to Chad and the team. You guys have been really good to work with as far as auditing in my past. You guys make it very easy and are a great team to help us throughout the year to make sure we make good choices. But it's really important to mention Judge Denny and Judge Edmonds, because the findings that we had, as you know, in the past, had a lot to do with people on the bench not adhering to some of the rules that the AOIC does. So having leadership upstairs in the judiciary has been monumental for the circuit clerk's office to be able to adhere to the rules. So we're very grateful to Judge Denny and Judge Edmonds for that. And then for my team, as you know, my team, Emily and Brittany work really hard with me to get the books. And so they deserve some accolades for making sure that they keep things in line and work with the auditors as well as they do. So, and of course, Angie, you know, she's priceless for me as far as like making sure we know what we're doing. So thank you very much. We appreciate all the hard work everybody's been doing to help us out too.
And also Angela, there is a payroll audit, for lack of better words, that again, we had findings on, we don't now. But again, thanks everyone.
And can I make a clarification? Are we waiting for a lawyer to review it from your side? Like, what's the lawyer thing?
Yeah, so I believe the state's attorney is, they have to provide a response to a request just to identify if there's any litigation issues or potential litigation issues that requires a contingent liability to be reported. It's one of our procedures.
Okay.
And so we're still waiting on that. The expectation, I don't think there's
He
any-
responded, but it was at 7:20 this morning, so.
Oh, I just was making sure you weren't waiting, I was waiting on your lawyer.
No, not
Okay,
at all.
so you guys, your timeline's good?
Yep.
All right, thank you.
And Chad, just to compliment Ethan, I know this was his first year on the job here. He's been great to work with, and he's also answered a lot of my questions. So where we had findings and I was trying to do those entries so they wouldn't be there again, and I'd have to reach out to him and say, how did you do this one? He's been very good at responding timely and explaining very good. So I've been very happy with him.
Yeah, it's always tough when we have turnover.
Yeah, he was brand new,
And it
so
was brand new for us, and so I appreciate the feedback.
yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you next year. Item E, that was included actually in item B there, both 2 for 1, so. We don't have anything for executive session, do we?
Max, do you usually vote to accept those two, the audit and the circuit clerk's audit? Do you know?
Well, I guess we can. Or do we have to wait, since this is just a draft form?
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Even though we know now it's okay since you responded, but.
Yeah.
I think we ought to wait till the final. Other business.
Well, Max, the only thing I'd like to mention is the county highway department seems to be doing a pretty good job. They're out there spraying weed dope on the places that need it, all around guardrails and curbs and places that could be a hindrance to the citizens. They're doing a good job. And they've started, and we've got a lot of locations like that would be potential trouble places, so I'm assuming they're getting ready to start their mowing, so.
I'm
Good luck to them.
Here they are. Thank you. Anything else, anybody? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make it. I'll say.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt.
Yes.